What's up, YouTube? I'm back with another video. This video is about me and my friend at Walmart, and basically what we were doing is we were getting some sodas from Walmart, and this is what happened. What that little 3 minutes we were in Walmart happened. So we pulled over, and his mom let us out. We went to go get some sodas. We walked in the front door, and we saw these little old lady carts or old people carts that you sit in and drive around the store in. And there was two of them already just sitting there, and we were like, well, I mean, it's the night shift. Most people don't care at nighttime what you do in Walmart, unless you just do something stupid like what we did. But anyway, we get in the carts and we start driving. Nobody stops us, and except one person. And they were like, I know y'all could get in major trouble. And I was like, well, we don't live around here, so it's not really gonna matter. And we get to the soda section, and my friend turns around and is like, we should just try and get kicked out. And I was like, I mean, I don't even go to Tyler's Walmart. I don't even shop there. I don't even live in Tyler. And basically, we look over and we see this giant above ground swimming pool filled with those like $4 rubber balls. And you see all over YouTube people getting kicked out of Walmart who like jump in the ball pits and stuff. Well, there was this above ground swimming pool filled with those. And I look at him and I'm like, trying to get kicked out? And he was like, yeah. So we were both going to run and jump in there, and this is where it all went wrong. I jumped in there, and I had on a hat at the time, and I jumped in there, and my hat came off, and I didn't know where it was, and I was laying there, and I was like, where's he at? Like, he didn't jump in there with me. And then this dude walks up, like a worker, he walks up, and he was like, was that really a good thing you should have done? And I was like, no, sir, and I'm looking around for my hat, and before I did all this, my friend said, if anybody tries to stop you or, like, take you with them, just don't say no and run away from him because, we're trying to get kicked out and we want to, like, cause some trouble. And I'm pretty sure he was mad at his mom. That's why he wanted to get kicked out anyway. But, anyway, so the dude told me, he was like, I'm going to have to escort you out, so come with me. And I was like, no. And I ran, like, I had ran as fast as I could to the other end of the store. And my friend had already gotten back on the carts that we had parked an aisle away, so that if we were to get caught, we could just get on those and drive off. And he had already got on his and started to drive away, and I didn't know where he was, so I went to the clothes section, and I got in there, and I chilled for a second, and I saw the dude reach to his walkie-talkie, and he was, we have a disturbance or something like that into his walkie-talkie, and the security little monitor guy walked over, and I was like, oh, this is bad. And so I ran outside, the dude, I saw him, like, looking at me, and the dude, like, started walking after me, and I went outside, and I got in his mom's car, and his mom was, like, parked on, like, the side of Walmart, where you get dropped off at, and, I got in the car, and I was like, we have a little difficulty, and she was like, what? And I was like, well, I lost Jeremiah, so I just came back here thinking he was here, and he's not, and, so she told me to go back in and hurry up, and I was like, okay. So I went back in. I called Jeremiah first, or my friend. I called him first, and I was like, "Where you at?" And I was like, "Meet me, by the sodas again." So we went over there, and we met, and he was on his little cart, and I was like, "Bro, they're like looking for us. We gotta go." And so he gets off the cart, and we start running, and then they start like speed walking towards us, and we're like, "Well, we gotta get going. Like, we can't just sit around here and let them kick us out because then they really will call the cops." And so the security monitor starts like walking after us, and so does that other dude, and we just start running like everywhere, and they just kept following us, and somehow they didn't find us, and we were over in the game section, and I looked around the corner and I didn't see him, and then he saw me and started walking again, and I was like, game over. Okay, and so he found us, and then we lost him again, got our sodas, and I walked up to this lady, and I was like, how fast do you think you can scan these sodas for us? And she was like, I can scan it in like 3 seconds. She scans the thing, and I start putting the money in the machine, and of course I had to put in a 20 because that's all I had on me at the time, and I start clicking finish and pay, and it was taking its time, like it just would not hurry. It was giving like $1 at a time, and I just kept spamming the button, and he's like, calm down, and I see the security dude walking towards us, and I'm like, uh-oh. So I grabbed the sodas, and I grabbed my money, I grabbed the sodas, and we kind of speed walk towards the door, and as we get to the door, he goes, my phone, and I'm like, so he runs back in the store to go grab his phone, and I go to the car, and I get in the car, and I'm like, well, I'm safe, so, I mean, he should get here all right. And his mom turns around and goes, hey, I need some, honey for coffee, and I was like, uh-oh. And so she hands me like $7, and she's like, it's in the coffee section or whatever. It's in the dairy section. And I was like, okay, I'll try. And so I go to the door, and I peek around, and I see the security dude standing there. And, he doesn't see me. So, like, I sneak up, and I get in the store, and I start creeping up, to run past him. And, I was, like, at the edge of this little cement outside, and it's pouring down rain. Like, it's slippery. And you probably already know what's about to happen. So I see him start to turn around, and so I jet back towards the car, and I slip in the process, and I bust my freaking knee on the ground and smack my hand on the ground as well, and I slid across the cement, and his mom saw me and just starts dying, and so I get back in the car and I hide, and I'm like down in the seat, and she's like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, "Okay, we have a situation." So there was this giant pool filled with those rubber balls, and I jumped in it, and now they're after us. And she wasn't even mad. She didn't even look like she cared. And so I was like, and the dude's guarding the door, so there's no way I can like get your honey. And so she's like, "Well, how about I just drive to the other end of the store?" And I'm like, did she not just hear what I just said? Like, there's people after us, and but I didn't say nothing. I was just like, yeah, sure. So we get to the other end of the store, and I see the security guard looking at me, and then all of a sudden I see my friend in his orange jacket walking across, and I'm like, oh gosh, we're in trouble for real now. Like, he got caught, like, because it was something about his phone. Anyway, so they stop us, or they didn't stop us, but his mom gets out the car, and she's looking mad, and they start talking, and the security monitor started making up a bunch of crap. I don't really want to say what it was, but he started making stuff up, and it made us both pretty mad, and it was a pretty silent trip back. But yeah, that was our trip to Walmart. I'm again going to try and get some video footage of inside of Walmart next time, maybe a little bit of something that, like, I jump or air you or something like that, because I found the savage spot in I jump, and I wanted to get it on video, but I didn't. But I'll see y'all next video.